In a quiet neighborhood of Portland, Oregon, Emily Carter lived what seemed like a perfect life. She was 35, a middle school English teacher, married to her college sweetheart, Daniel, a hard-working architect. Their 10-year-old daughter, Lily, was the light of their lives. But beneath the calm of their picture-perfect home lay emotions no one dared to talk about: loneliness, regret, and secrets buried deep in the silence between two people who had once been in love. For years, Emily had supported Daniel through his career struggles. But as his projects grew and his workload increased, he became more distant, emotionally and physically. He spent late nights at the office, and Emily began to feel invisible, like a ghost in her own home. She didn't crave anything wild or wrong, she just missed being seen, being heard. That's when she met Ryan Miller, a new teacher at her school. Ryan was kind, funny, and empathetic, the kind of person who noticed the small things: when someone looked tired, when they smiled out of politeness instead of happiness. At first, their friendship was innocent: coffee breaks, shared grading frustrations, and laughter about the quirks of their students. But soon, Emily found herself looking forward to his presence more than she wanted to admit. Ryan, too, was lonely. Divorced and adjusting to single life, he admired Emily's strength and compassion. He never crossed a line, but there was an unspoken connection between them, a quiet understanding that made every moment feel charged with meaning, though neither said a word about it. It was an affair of the heart, not of the body, a silent affair built on glances, smiles, and emotions that neither dared to voice. One autumn afternoon, as golden leaves covered the schoolyard, Emily found herself sitting beside Ryan after class. He was telling her about his daughter, who lived with her mother in another city. "You ever feel like you're doing everything right," he said softly, "but still feel like something's missing?" Emily nodded, staring at the empty classroom. "Every day," she whispered. They never hugged, they never touched, but in that moment, they understood each other completely. And that was where the danger began, not in actions, but in emotions. At home, Daniel noticed the change. Emily smiled less. She seemed distant, distracted. One evening, he found her sitting quietly on the couch, staring out the window as the rain fell. He said gently, "Is something wrong?" She hesitated. For years, she'd been holding back her feelings. Now, they came rushing out. "I don't know who we are anymore," she said, tears welling up. "You're always working. I feel like I'm living alone even when you're here." Daniel was stunned. He hadn't realized how far they'd drifted. He promised to make things right, to take a break, to spend time as a family again. But rebuilding trust wasn't easy when her heart was divided, not by infidelity, but by confusion. Emily wrestled with guilt. She knew she'd done nothing wrong, yet emotionally, she'd stepped away from her marriage. The next day, Ryan handed her a letter. "I'm transferring to another school," he said quietly. "I think it's better for both of us." Her heart sank, but she knew he was right. Their connection, though unspoken, had reached a point where silence was no longer safe. She watched him walk away, the rain falling harder than before. That night, Emily sat with Daniel and told him everything, not about Ryan, specifically, but about her loneliness, the emotional distance, and how she'd lost herself in the silence of their marriage. Daniel listened, really listened, for the first time in years. "I don't want to lose you," he said. "I've been so focused on building our future that I forgot to live in our present." It wasn't an instant fix, but they began again, small steps. Family dinners, weekend walks, honest talks before bed. Slowly, Emily realized that love wasn't about perfection. It was about effort, about choosing each other every day, even when it was hard. Months later, Emily found an old coffee cup from the teacher's lounge, the one Ryan used to hand her when they'd chat about books. She smiled softly, grateful for what that season of her life had taught her. Not all affairs are physical, some happen in silence, in hearts that forget how to speak. But healing begins the moment you decide to listen again, to yourself, to love, and to those who matter most. As spring returned, so did laughter in the Carter household. Emily watched Daniel help Lily with her school project and felt something she hadn't in a long time: peace. Their love wasn't perfect, but it was real. And that, she realized, was worth more than anything else.